Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to this lesson about inverted word order in Danish. If you're learning Danish from the English language, this is very important to be aware of this topic. So I can recommend to really listen up throughout this video. And at the end of it, you're going to be an absolute master of what this means. First, let's take a look at what we're going to learn specifically. First of all, we're going to have a little overview of what inverted word order actually is. What do we mean when we say this? We are going to know when to use inversion and when to not use inversion. We're going to look at a lot of examples of this, as well as at the end a little secret tip you can use to make everything a little bit easier for yourself. So hang on until the end and you'll see what that's all about. First off, let's look at what we actually mean when we are talking about the word order. A regular word order in Danish is subject, verb, object. For example, the guy that we see in the picture, han læser en bog. He is reading a book. Subject, verb, object. Sometimes we have inverted word order, sentence structure, which means that the verb comes before the subject. So we're going to take a look specifically when that happens in the examples following this. But first, let's take a look at some more regular examples, just to be completely clear. We have here, jeg drikker vin. I drink wine. Subject, verb, object. Exactly like English, very simple. Jeg spiser druer. I eat grapes. Subject, verb, object. Subject, verb, object. Danish, English, exactly the same. So when do we then actually change it up? We do that in the first case in questions. So, example here. Drikker du vin? Drikker is the verb comes before. So, drikker du vin, verb, subject, object. It means, are you drinking wine? So, in English, we do have the subject, the verb, and the object still, and then the question in the end. But we need to invert that in Danish. Same example here, spiser du druer? Are you eating grapes? Verb, subject, object, question mark. In English, are you eating grapes? Subject, verb, object, question. So, Danish question words, we do have the verb and then the subject. Let's do a little exercise here. So, we have here some words, two different questions. One is a question, one is a statement. So, what do we do? One is regular, one is inverted. We have here the words drikker kaffe du and the statement drikker kaffe du. Try to guess which word goes where. I'll give you a second. This is how it ends up with. Again, the question, we have the verb, subject, object. Drikker du kaffe? Do you drink coffee? Or are you drinking coffee? And we have the statement with the subject, verb, object. Du drikker kaffe. You drink coffee. Very good. Now, let's take a look at the second case where we also need to invert the sentence. This is when the sentence starts with any kind of time adverbial, a description of time in the beginning of the sentence. We're going to take a look at some examples. But here we have a regular setup. Han arbejder hjemmefra. Hjemmefra means from home. So subject, verb, object. He works from home. Han arbejder hjemmefra. Now, if we want to say that he works from home this coming Friday, we have a saying, telling of time in the beginning of the sentence. So this sounds like, på fredag arbejder han hjemmefra. On this Friday, he works from home. And here again, we see the inversion. So we have time, verb, subject, object, as opposed to English, where we have time, subject, verb, object still. So time adverbial, something telling time in the beginning of the sentence, and we invert the sentence as well. Now, what is some time vocabulary? Let's take a look at some of the things we can use to tell time. Of course, there are many more. These are just some examples. So we can, for example, say i morgen, tomorrow, i går, yesterday. We can say på mandag på tirsdag. So it means next weekday. We can use all the weekdays. We can also say I plus onsdags, torsdags, fredags. So any weekday with an added S in the end. This means the last weekday. So, for example, last Wednesday, I onsdags. And we can also say plus weekdays with an en ending. So fredagen, lørdagen. It means on weekdays. So on Fridays, on Saturdays, it always refers to reoccurring events. Then we also have nu, means now. For example, nu snakker jeg, now I'm speaking. And then we have, of course, if something happens as a specific time of day, you can say klokken 10 at 10 o'clock, klokken 1 at 1 o'clock. And lastly, we can also use the construction with seasons. So for example, om sommeren, om vinteren, om foråret, in summer, in winter, and so on. Okay, so let's do a couple of more examples here regarding the time setup. So here we have om sommeren svømmer han en Ironman. In the summer, he swims an Ironman. We have again the inversion here because om sommeren in summer is something to tell time. So time, verb, subject, object. And in English, subject, verb, object. And here we have the example, nu slapper han af i en pool. Now he is relaxing in a pool. Time, verb, subject, object. Because we start the sentence with nu, we have the inversion. Now he's relaxing in a pool. In English, of course, just follows the normal sentence structure, time, subject, verb, object. So now let's do a little test again. Here we have two different telling time sentences. Try to take a look at the words, try to think where should they fit. First sentence is on Wednesday, they eat fish. Om onsdagen, fisk de spiser. Second one is yesterday I cooked. Jeg lavede i går mad. And this is how it's supposed to look like. So first sentence is om onsdagen spiser de fisk. Om onsdagen spiser de fisk. Om onsdagen time spiser verb, de object, fisk. De subject, fisk, object. Second example, i går lavede jeg mad. Yesterday I cooked food. I går lavede jeg mad. Time, verb, subject, object. Okay. So now, why are we drilling this so much in this exercise? It's because very often what I hear with my students as well is that people forget to do the inversion. And a Danish ear can hear that quite well. So the typical thing what happens is that you just keep the subject, verb, object, even though there's a time adverbial. It could sound like om aftenen han læser. But no, this is wrong. The correct one is om aftenen læser han. Hvornår du sover. This is also wrong. We have to ask hvornår sover du. The sentences means in the chronological order here. In the night he reads. And when do you sleep? Okay. Remember question words, inversion, telling the time, inversion. Now, what about the tip? If you're thinking, oh God, this is too much. I will just forget all the time to do the inversion, and it's so unsimilar to English and so on. Good thing is that we can just construct the same sentence with the same meaning, exactly the same. We can just do that by adding the time aspect at the end of the sentence instead of in the beginning. Example here. Jeg spiste fisk i går. I ate fish yesterday. So subject, verb, object plus time, exactly like in English. Or here the next example. Jeg arbejder på tirsdag. I work next Tuesday. Subject, verb, object, time. Subject, verb, object, time. Of course, if we now want to do the sentences inverted, we will just take the time in the beginning and the sentences would be I går spiste jeg fisk and på tirsdag arbejder jeg. So, if you want to save yourself the trouble, you can always put the time at the end of the sentence, but better just learn it, right? So go back to the video, go through this little drill exercise, and I hope that you will learn something, I'm sure. You just need to get used to it. It's not so difficult. Very good. Now we have learned what inverted word order is in Danish. We know when to use the inversion. We have seen a lot of examples and even a little secret tip. So with that being said, let me know if this is something that helped you in the comments, and let me know if I forgot something in the video or some specific examples that you ran into where you're in doubt. Then I'm all ears for that. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching, and I'm really looking forward to see you in the next episode. Please leave a like and a subscription, and it really helps a lot. I'm happy to see the channel thriving, and yeah, really enjoying making content for you guys. So hang in there, thank you very much, and vi ses næste gang. Hej hej, farvel, vi ses.